Hi, everybody. My name is David Mashian, and I'm Dave the Real Estate Guy. Today, we're on Chapter 17, and we're going to talk about cold calling. Simply said, the more calls you make, the more money you make. The more you make, the more you make. Very simple. So, the way you can measure this is very simple as well. Put out a sheet, and every time you make a call, just make a mark. And the more marks you make, you'll realize and you can count how many calls you made. So it's very important to track your calls because that's going to directly be correlated to how much money you make. Now, you may not want to do this, but it's important to track yourself. The easiest way to track yourself is results. If the calls you're making result in at least one appointment a day, you're doing okay. You at least have to make one appointment a day. It doesn't matter if you make one call or 100 calls. That's your goal. It's not to make calls, it's to make appointments, to meet people, because that's where the magic happens. The magic happens when you meet people. So, cold calls will enable you to have more deal choices. It's going to allow you to choose who to work with. It's going to control your business destiny. You're going to be able to control the destiny of your business. You're going to empower yourself. It's terrible when we don't make cold calls and we don't prospect. And then we end up working with people who are not so great or have deals that are low probability and work in situations that we'd rather not be in. So, simply said, when you're calling, you're creating choices for yourself. You are creating more choices. When you have more choices, you'll make better decisions. When somebody's limited to the number of choices, to the ugly or bad, there's not going to be, it's not looking too good. You, you got to just get on the phone and start calling people and creating yourself a book of business that's going to give you the options you want to succeed. Because obviously you're going to go after the higher probability deal. You're going to go work with a client that's going to be a better client to work with in terms of your enjoyment, the number of deals, the volume of deals. You're not going to be, scraping the bottom of the barrel trying to make a deal happen because you didn't prospect. So you really got to realize this. The people who prospect the least end up working on the worst deals. And the one who prospect the most are the ones who are the prima donna. They're the ones who call the shots. They work with whoever basically is the best one for them. You want to be in the position of being the prima donna. So the more you call, the more choices you will have. Okay? You'll make more money. You'll make more deals. You will be in a position of strength and not need. You'll be more confident. You will make better decisions because you have more choices. You will not be desperate and work with somebody bad. When you work with somebody bad, it is bad. It drains you of your time and energy and your mental energy. You'll enjoy your business more and you're going to work with better clients. You're not going to stress about where your next deal is. When you're prospecting, you already know where your next deal is coming from. You have a good sense of it. In this business, you'll realize you'll build your pipeline and it can evaporate overnight. Whatever you thought was real, whatever you thought is coming through, just disappears. Just like the clouds, it's gone. It just vaporizes. It's the most shocking thing, and I've experienced it plenty. So I never count on anything to be a sure thing because it's not. So, first thing we want to start with, what are your habits? You want to make calling a priority. When do you get started? I'd say first thing in the morning. As soon as you get in the office or at starting at work at home or wherever you are, make the calls and have the people you're going to call that list ready the day before. the last thing you do the day before is get the list of people you're going to call. So you already know who you're going to call. There's no guesswork. You already got them lined up, right? How's your attitude? Are you smiling and dialing? Are you kind of bearing through it? It almost, I've seen people who with not terribly good personalities on the phone, but they made business because they were just tenacious. They just called. It was amazing to watch. So, in a way, I guess your attitude doesn't make a difference, but you're just going to have to make more calls. But I've also seen it where somebody with a very attractive attitude, very perky, smiley, happy, just kill in the business, just doing wonderful right away out the gate with hardly any experience. It was a woman. People wanted to be with her. People wanted to work with her. She just ran circles around everybody else because of her attitude. So you're actually going to work less if you have a good attitude because people will want to work with you. You want to check how you sound. In one of the previous videos, I said get a mirror, put it on your desk so you can check yourself, right? You want to make sure you're smiling, you're not frowning. Because even if you're on the phone, they're going to read that. They don't see your face, but it comes out in your voice. You can tell. I've actually done experiments where I had two people back to back. They don't see each other, and they're practicing their cold calling. And we would tell one person, "Hey, pretend you're not happy or whatever, or don't smile. Okay, see if they pick it up. And the next call, make sure you're smiling as you say the same script." The person on the receiving end could tell when the person is smiling and when they're not. It comes across. It's not like you need to see somebody to see if they're smiling. It's very obvious. So you want to make sure you got that mirror there and you check yourself. You can also record yourself when you're on the phone. Record yourself on your computer. There's so many ways of doing it, right? Now, can you avoid distractions? I'd say that's a big one, right? You got Facebook, you got YouTube, you got LinkedIn, you got WeChat, you got whatever. You got a zillion and one social media and also emails that'll keep distracting you. You go on Facebook, half hour later, you're still browsing. You haven't done anything in that half hour. And you may kind of fool yourself and say, well, I'm doing research. No, you're not. You're goofing around. Fool yourself, but it's going to cost you. Okay, so critical to kind of avoid the distractions. Simple one, is your desk clear? Okay, is your desk free of clutter? I know they say that clutter is a sign of genius. Let's just accept that that's Einstein's desk, and kind of let's put ourselves in the category of we just need a clear desk to have a clear mind. Okay, and when you reach genius status, you can have a cluttered desk. Get on the phone with clear desk. Also, clear home, right? Your home has to be clean. Your car also. No junk in the car. No used cups from coffee, right? Coffee cups all over the car. I'm guilty of that one. Your laundry's put away. All of this is done before you start business, right? Your home is clean. Your car is clean. You're clean. Your office is clean. Your desk is clear. You'll have a clear mind. With a clear mind, you will be able to capture those opportunities and you'll be able to do much better. Are you enthusiastic? Do you like what you're doing? Okay, maybe you're not too crazy about calling and leaving a bunch of messages and maybe people saying they don't want to meet. But you know what? It only takes one meeting to turn that around. And when you see the magic of meeting people and getting those deals and making more money than you ever thought, you'll realize this is a business to be enthusiastic about. More so now than even before, because now people have more options to consider how they're going to market. Whereas before it was basically phone and mail. Now they got websites and email blasts and blogs and whatever. So You got to be enthusiastic because they're going to pick up on your enthusiasm and they're going to be enthusiastic because you are. I have actually sold properties for property owners that I was more enthusiastic about the property than they were. And you'll see that often. You got to have it. That's why you're getting paid. They want you to be enthusiastic and sell their property. You want to make calling a priority, okay? You got to block out a time for calling. The first thing in the morning is ideal, right? Let's say 8 a.m. to 9 noon, right? That's 3 hours. That's a solid block of time. Okay, make sure you don't have any appointments or make any appointments and do everything else in the afternoon, right? Whether it's proposals, emails, brochures, appointments, whatever. Make sure you do that in the afternoon. There's a book called Eat That Frog. You get rid of the hardest thing first because it's always easy to put cold calling at a lower priority. You say, "Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to do this." Next thing you know, it's 6 o'clock at night. You didn't make your calls. You didn't make your appointment, and guess what? You're falling behind in your business goals. Okay, so you want to do your most productive task first. You got to eat that frog first. Start off early in the morning, right? All right, guys. We're done. We're going to start with chapter 18 next. Talk to you soon.